But we'll have to see, I think. But let's talk. They've got a couple of other issues. We've got another just over 5 minutes or so to talk a bit about the high-speed rail story, which is another story that's come out just this week. The government have given the go-ahead to build a high-speed rail link between Hong Kong and Guangzhou. I think the Hong Kong government are in charge of paying for the Hong Kong section, from what I understand. And this is another astronomical, unbelievable figure. It's going to cost 65.2 billion Hong Kong dollars to construct the Hong Kong section of this rail link between Hong Kong and the border. I mean, that seems like a huge amount of money to only increase the time by whatever, half an hour or something, isn't it? Or an hour, 40 minutes or something.
And it's connect to the Kowloon station and Austin station, which is not very convenient at the time. We just got a golf course. Yeah, right next to the Austin station. Right.
And do you think are a lot of people going to be thrown out of their land, and the government are basically acquiring land
village.
And houses?
Yes.
And so basically, what's your take on it? What have the Chinese media been talking about that? Have the residents got any rights, or are they just going to be treated like in mainland China? Basically, they'll be kicked out, and we'll wield in the thugs if you don't go. I mean, what point?
In the point of view from the government, they always concentrate on the compensation. Yeah, but the people in the village, they concentrate on we will never leave our hometown
of the rights of the land,
of the village, of the rights of the land. So I think in the end, I think the high speed rail, like if the Hong Kong people they keep on going, they don't care what is happening, and they don't care about that. Some Hong Kong people, they don't even carefully read the newspaper. They say, oh, it's good, we got 30 minutes faster than we take the train from Hong Kong station. Yeah, but
the Hong Kong government, they love these kind of big infrastructure projects, don't they? They spend a huge fortune of money building them, and I don't quite know whether it's worth doing it.
It's not worth it
in some of these things. And like another thing, they're building this big bridge to Macau now, aren't they? And that's costing a huge amount of money. But whether it is quite worth it and quite well thought out, I'm not too sure actually.
I think they're shining China companies' shoes. That's all. They use Hong Kong people's tax to please the China government, or maybe not say just the Guangdong governance,
because obviously some villages, they will be compensated. It is different to mainland China. They'll basically be given money and hope that. But I hope there's a fight. Actually, I hope that there's some residents who've lived there all their life and they say no, we're not taking. No matter how much money, we're going to fight you in it. And it'll be interesting in a court of law how that fight would play out. Actually,
I think they are training up some Korean farmers. maybe. Yeah, I hope. Yeah,
exchange techniques, eh?
Yeah,
because let's face it, if that happened in Korea, actually,
exactly the same thing, right?
You got protests already.
Yeah, you get protests. Yeah, people throwing gas bomb, right?
Yeah. I mean, any other views on that? And before we want to also just finish off talking about Disneyland. Actually, perhaps we've got a couple of minutes left. Let's talk about another big announcement that has just happened in the last week or two about Disneyland. Got 3 minutes left. Obviously, it's been announced that Shanghai is going to have another Disneyland. And so there's going to be two Disneylands in China. Obviously, some people within the tourism industry in Hong Kong will be worried that obviously, more tourists will go to Shanghai instead of coming to Hong Kong. But are they overreacting? China is a very big place. It's got a huge amount of people. In America there are 2 Disneylands. So surely can China have 2? Is one view, but on another view is, do we actually need another Disneyland? Because in some ways I would say, Disneyland is not that fantastic. And, in a lot of ways, Ocean Park is, in my opinion, is a lot better. But what do you think about that, you guys?
I think that Hong Kong. Well, first of all, Hong Kong Disneyland shouldn't be called Disneyland. Should call Disney Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very small.
It's too small. Whatever. My friend. Okay. My friends, my colleagues, they went to the Disney Park. They said it's too small. Okay, compared to the one in Japan, compared to the one in America, of course.
And also the land was given at free cost. In Tong Chi Hua's decade.
Yeah,
that's true.
And now they lend another like $6 billion to $65 billion to the American again. Yes, and then the American can come to China. I don't know who want to say more. Otherwise,
talking as Chinese people.
Yeah.
What do you think about the view that the Americans and bringing Disney to China in this way? Is there some sort of what people call cultural imperialism? Is that a view? I mean, do some Chinese people look at that and think, we shouldn't be allowing these Americans to bring in their brash Disney style? And let's face it, a Disneyland in China is exactly the same as a Disneyland in America. They don't adapt it to any sort of Chinese characteristics.
In my view is that they ripping off the laborers. Like $1 per hour to produce some cheap goods, but they put the brand name Disneyland on it and they sell very expensive. That is a totally extreme capitalist. We have to really facing it, look behind what Disneyland is.
Yeah. Any thoughts from you, Simon?
Well, I think that.
Especially about the cultural aspect, that's out of cultural imperialism.
That's what I'm thinking about too. For Chinese people, China. Okay, right now, the most of the famous thing is to copy other people's stuff. Okay, I saw a lot of the like Mickey Mouse on the street, Mickey Mouse bag. I do not put much fortune on the new Disneyland in Shanghai because I think it might be another of the magnetic railways in Shanghai. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we've run out of time. So thank you for coming, Simon. See you in 2 months.
Yeah.
See you in 2 weeks, Ken. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.